Hello everyone, this is Kubo and this is my laundry talk. Hello! This show is for my language improvement, nothing else. So I will talk whatever I want to talk and just listen to me. So today I'm going to talk about being Japanese. Recently I've been to 2 weeks trip to Japan and had so much fun, but at the same time I feel a lot of mind shift. You know, I've been living in Canada about now 4 years, 5 years, and then I don't say that I'm becoming Canadian, but I'm definitely used to living in Canada and then under Canadian customs, and I didn't necessarily realize that while when I just spend a time in Canada or my daily life here. But I went to Japan for 2 weeks and I just realized that how my behavior changes, and that made me realize that how much I'm different in Canada and in Japan. So I'm gonna talk about that. So first of all, I think the biggest difference is how much I am aware of, or I am careful about how other people thinks. When I say it this way, I feel like I am overthinking about things, but it's not that. It's more about, let's just say, caring about others. And I wish I have a good example. So one example is that when I was in Kyoto, or me and my partner was in Kyoto, and we were just walking around the city, right? And then there's a really tiny intersection has pedestrian signals and stuff. And then in Canada, if there is no traffic, even if the pedestrian signal is red still, I would just walk through or just across the road. And then I didn't notice that first, but several times I stopped the red signal for the pedestrian, and my partner actually realized that why do we stop here? And sometimes I do ignore it, sometimes I stop it, and I just realized that whenever I find someone else to stop, someone else, some other Japanese people waiting for the signal, I also try to stop, even though there is no zero cars going on in the intersection. And just subtle things, but it just made me realize that I actually behave more like Japanese people when I'm in Japan. I guess I am Japanese and it makes sense to behave like that, but I changed my behavior between Canada and Japan, and I thought that was quite interesting, and I almost did it without unintentionally, unconsciously. So that's something, right? Yeah, it's very nuanced, right? So it's always easy to articulate the example. Is there any other good example that I become so Japanese? Okay, so second thing, I don't know. Okay, honestly, it's kind of overstepping my task. I don't know, task is the right word. I'm overstepping my responsibility, but I'm quite careful about how my partner behaves, and I was doing a little bit too much in the middle of middle of trouble. So like I try not to do that after I realized that, but I just didn't. Okay, so we are thinking about moving to Japan like someday. I don't know, we don't have any significant date, but we would love to move to Japan eventually. And when it happens, I just want to make sure, there's like a desire for me to make sure that my partner will not behave I will say it, it just doesn't sound always great, especially like this is not my responsibility, and like I cannot control what my partner does, right? So like I understand that part, but still like I try to make sure that my partner is actually behaving the way one stimulate or offense Japanese people, because a lot of people are very tolerant to foreign people behaving in a different way. But at the same time, if you are living in Japan, as a invitee, or not invitee but inviter, like the person who invites foreign people to Japan, I just want to make sure that my partner will not too out of Japanese customs, because as much as I felt very suffocated when I was living in Japan at that time, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I still think that I really love Japanese culture and then how we keep it safe and clean environment and trustworthy environment. And I have such strong desire to educate my partner what it's like to live in Japan, and I just don't want my partner to be rude, foreigners, offenses, everyone, but just everyone just smiles at my partner, so that try to make this situation much smoother. And yeah, I think I'm overthinking, to be honest, but again, I will keep saying this, I just wanna tell my partner that this is what it's like. And I think telling those things is up to me, like really up to me, and if my partner will behave like that or not is not my responsibility, right? So I shouldn't put too much attention to those moments, but I just want to make sure to share those elements so that my partner will be aware at least a little bit. And yeah, so at some point I was just overstepping his responsibility, and like he just gets stressed out a little bit. So yeah, that was not good, but at the same time, yeah, that's just what it was. And yeah, so like being Japanese, also like especially like I don't look like other, and I look like Japanese people, so they expect me to behave like Japanese people. And even though I speak in a different language, there's like always some kind of expectation for sure. I don't know if, and feeling this pressure is probably my mind shift as well, because no one is telling me like that. And I don't know, again, I just don't like this, but at the same time I do want to follow those instincts, because that's just like how we maintain Japan, or like some people. Yeah, I gotta look back this video, and then I'm curious how I will think when I edit this video, but that's what I'm thinking right now. And Also, this is not necessarily being Japanese, but dynamic and in my relationship changes a little bit too. I'm much when we are in Canada. I am much more. I don't want to say useless, but I'm definitely not doing a lot. I rely on my partner a lot, especially like when we have like a little trip in like within Canada. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna follow you, and I will always try to have fun, but at the same time I won't do much research and stuff, which is not awesome. But when we go to Japan, you know, I speak language and I know what it's like to live in Japan. So like power dynamics changes a lot, and I become the leader of the team, and it's, I don't know, I don't feel anything negative about it. I just do feel some kind of do I have any good example? Well, for example, when I'm not good at maps, but because I'm the leader and I know where we are heading, I'm the one who navigate ourselves, and I don't always go in a right way because I'm just not good at maps, and then when I look at Google Maps, I won't just always go to the correct way. I don't know why. Yeah, but those little things I just made me realize that how much I am relying on my partner in Canada, and that just gives me great opportunities to realize like the appreciation and the stuff. So it's just a little mind shift going on when we travel to Japan, and like it's a good stimulation. I really enjoy that. So yeah, I hope it's maybe a very unique experience for interracial couple, and not necessarily interracial couple, but international couple, to feel this way. But once you describe in words, it becomes more crisp, and like I understand, or I can put those phenomenal words. So that's cool. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Bye now.